What's up, Brian?
What's up,
Do you
Ryan?
do you feel the need?
The need for speed. Huh! Up top. Down low. Huh! Bam. That's right. That's right, everybody. If you haven't guessed it already, you've entered the danger zone of the Geek Dad Report, episode 183 to be precise. Woo! That's right. Me and Ryan are locked, loaded, flying joint on this mission, and we're ready to bring you some high octane dog fighting.
And then we're gonna grease ourselves up.
Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna take off our shirts and grease ourselves up and put on some jeans
I
and then
bought
go play.
17 gallons of baby oil on Amazon.
Nah. I only bought three.
But did you
Because
buy the volleyball? Because we can't have
Yeah.
the dripping oil jean volleyball match if you didn't bring the volleyball.
And one of us is just gonna keep checking our watch the whole time.
All right, that's right.
Right.
Because we're gonna be late for a smoking hot date.
Yeah. Well, you're late for a smoking hot date, but then you go to that person's house and then take a shower.
And then you take a shower, and then they make you a salad, and then you like have sex, but you like literally lick their face the entire time, which is really weird.
Yeah. So I've never been on one of those dates, but I'm sure that would have been really cool.
Well, you have to at least make sure that when you're making love with your hot lady, you do it to an Oscar-winning song in the background. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
If you haven't already guessed, Ryan and myself are freaking stoked for the new Top Gun Maverick trailer, movie, whatever experience is coming out, and we're gonna be talking a lot about that tonight.
Oh,
But we got a lot of things to talk about tonight. Welcome everybody. Like I said, everybody, welcome to episode 183. We got a lot of nerd news to share with you guys this week. All fun things to put a smile on your faces. I'm Brian, the fighter pilot with the absolute mostest.
and I am Ryan.
Spoiler
Maybe
alert, Ryan dies at the end.
no, I'm not Goose. I don't want to be Goose. I want to be
You could be
Ice.
Goose's son. You want to be Goose's son in this episode?
I want to be Iceman because then I'll get really fat after I
That's
get
true.
out of there.
But if you chomp at me like more than once, all right, that was your only time. But if you chomp at me again, this episode's over.
All right, well I'll put it on reserve. And,
Oh man, yeah, dude, we had a big week this week. We had a big week in the nerd universe. This Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. We got a ton of X-Men news. We got the Top Gun. We got like more trailers than I know what to do with. So everybody who's joining us, we're going to be breaking down all those things. We're going to be real Comic-Con heavy. And I know every other nerd show is broken down Comic-Con just ungodly amounts. So we're going to do something different, and we're just going to like not break them down. We're just going to talk nerdy stuff about them.
we're just gonna do the things that we actually care about and not talk about every single tiny thing
We're
that
gonna
happens.
we're gonna make jokes and lots of Top Gun puns.
Yeah, and maybe it'll be really good. We don't know.
There is no maybe, Ryan.
Yeah, we just wing
Man,
it.
you say maybe
So-
again, I'm hitting this ejector button, and you know what happens to the co-pilots in our movie?
Don't make me snap at you, Brian.
Don't you listen here, Iceman? Don't you fucking do it? All right. Well, before we dive into all that goodness, you got anything you want to talk about? What's been going on, man? What's up with you?
Dude, other than my work has been extremely stressful because
Who cares about that? Everybody's work is extremely stressful. We live in America. Nobody cares about us. We're just cogs in a machine.
As someone who is exactly a cog in the American machine, because I'm not allowed to talk about where I work, but not good.
Whatever,
But
man. I work for a giant corporation. I'm not even a cog. I'm just like I'm a decimal point somewhere on somebody's payroll.
I mean, my mother-in-law's here for 12 days.
Ooh,
So,
sounds fun. Is she gonna make you like a casserole, maybe? Or is this the situation where your wife and her just gang up and verbally assault you for 12 days?
we'll talk about it after.
You don't want to record? You don't want to put this on record?
No,
All right, so you have like a great 12 days of mimosas and pedicures planned. So what else you got going on?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I
But that's
suggest you
going
get
to Denver,
you get the whiskey mimosa. That'll help dull the pain.
got a whole bottle of tequila.
Ooh. Actually, I don't know. That might be the wrong choice. I'm just.
Well,
I
I
mean,
like
listen, I love tequila.
nice and warm inside.
Some great shit happens when I drink tequila, but also some real bad shit happens when I drink tequila. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the positive outweighs the negative.
You haven't hit that equilibrium where you figured out if it's
Well,
like
I'm pretty
better
sure
or
I've hit an
worse.
equilibrium or two. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Eesh.
Like I know Jägermeister. Like Jägermeister, like I feel good, but then everybody tells me that I did really mean horrible things.
Oh no, Jägermeister is an absolute rage party in a bottle. Like you drink a bottle of Jägermeister, you might burn your house down. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. Jägermeister. There's a reason why I don't drink Jägermeister anymore. No, thank you.
Apparently, I am like I think I'm having a ton of fun, but everybody tells me I'm just being an asshole.
Well, you know what? Maybe they're the assholes, Ryan. Maybe they're the ones trying to knock you down from having your best fun.
That's what I think. Yeah. Well, who
I
knows?
support you, unless I'm hanging out with you, and then.
What about you? My week was sucky and boring. What about you, Brian? You're still recovering from vacation mode.
Let's see. Yeah, last week was pretty brutal for coming back from vacation. What did I do this weekend? I got some more tattoo work done. I got Chewbacca. Everybody who's following the Brian's tattoo Star Wars sleeve here, I got Chewbacca filled in. It's hard to show everybody, so there he is.
So who's you gonna get next?
Well, I got all right. Let me stand up here. I got 3PO. Can you see 3PO?
Oh, I saw that one earlier.
Yeah, so he's kind of leaning. Sorry, everybody watching at home. It's kind of hard to my arm. These arm angles are really goofy. So there's Chewie, and then 3PO's kind of just
so much.
3PO's just kind of poking his head out, like, "Hey, what's going on?" So yeah, got that done. See what else? I'm getting the Emperor. So I think the next, I don't know yet. I got to talk to. I'm not sure what my tattoo artist wants to do next, but we're going to do the Emperor. Emperor's getting put in right here on his throne, kind of tying it together, and then up here in my giant biceps.
So
putting a Star Destroyer.
Suggestion. I'm going to say a Rancer.
Okay, a Rancor.
Yeah, a Rancor.
No.
The Sarlacc pit. Always a good one.
So Rancor and a Sarlacc pit. That's what you suggest.
You can always get a Jawa.
And a Jawa. So I'm going to say all those ideas suck, and I'm not doing any of them.
Or why don't you get like a Walker or something like that?
Yeah, I did want to get a Walker.
You need some more ships.
Well, that's what I'm putting this Imperial Star Destroyer right here. I'm gonna tie it to the space theme. Listen, Ryan. I'm a goddamn artista. Okay, I know what I got going on here. I did want a Walker though. I just couldn't find. I ran out of places to put a Walker, so I kept with the spaceships instead.
If you got a Sarlacc pit,
I could put the Walker like right here, like pew 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 pew.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so I did that on Saturday, and then Sunday I went to like Covington Days, which is like a fair.
What? There's not a lot of that stuff around here. There's not a lot of like, unless we're just missing it.
You guys don't have like town days,
like fairs and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, like they have down in Kent. They got the Cornucopia days, and then the Seattle. Seattle has their days. And all the suburbs have their little days.
Do you do the Puyallup, Brian?
Yeah, we go down to Puyallup Fair. We do that, but that doesn't open until next month, I think. That's the earliest it starts. But so we went and did like the local city fair thing, and then
did you guys ever go to the Evergreen State Fair? That's Monroe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go up there sometimes. And then we did a little too much day drinking, and I got pretty sloshed by next thing you know, it's like midnight, and I'm like, oh god, I gotta go to work tomorrow. This is terrible. Yeah. I try not to do Sunday day drinking, but it was just kind of, I don't know. It was one of those things that didn't intend to start that way. It just kind of went that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. That's about it. And then work. Work is fucking work. Whatever.
Yeah. One of these days we're gonna get to retire, Brian, and then.
So they keep telling me.
Not this shit anymore.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I doubt it. But
if there's still a planet to retire on.
Yeah, no shit, right? All right, man. Well, unless you got something else, maybe we should just dive into the news. We got a shit ton of it.
I think we should, just because of the amount of time that I assume that we're going to be talking about at least like 3 things. So
that's a very valid point. All right, Ryan. Then tonight we will be diving into the Top Gun news, Ryan. We're going to be going right through the danger zone. With a tomahawk of destruction and learning. All right. Then we're going to come up under and do a oop-de-fucking oop of awesomeness.
And then we'll finish it off, Ryan, with the Great Balls of Fire leg sweep.
Yeah.
And then most will die.
All right, Ryan. So before I start the news, permission to fly by the tattoo. Permission to do a flyby.
You're going to buzz it.
All right, whatever. Okay, so should we do the sad news? Should we start out with the sad news before we get to the good stuff?
Yeah, let's do the stupid sad news.
All right, so as we always do on this show, when we lose somebody, we like to give them a quick shout out, and maybe especially if it's somebody that meant something to us growing up, that we try and give them a suitable send off where we talk about their movies and why we like them. So this week we lost, I guess, I'd say he's a B movie star. I mean, he did some big roles, but he's definitely much more known for his B works than any A-list stuff. But today we lost Rutger Hauer at the age of, I think, 75. I didn't know word on his passing other than he was just old. But yeah, I mean, Rutger Hauer has had a very interesting movie career, to say the least.
Oh yeah, I mean, and when you say he was, we realized he was 75. Like, man, he lived a long life.
He lived a long life. I was looking at his filmography just to see if I missed something, because I knew there was a movie or two that I loved him in that I just didn't, that I forgot about. And honestly, going through it, man, especially his early 90s work, I'm just like, oh my god, I forgot he was in that. Oh my god, I love this movie. Like, I was talking to you earlier about this movie he did in 92 called Split Second. It's absolute garbage, like, noir thriller. Like, it starts out like he's a cop and he thinks he's pursuing like a killer, but it turns out to be some like giant predator monster. It's so bad, but it's really good.
Yeah, right through that trailer, and we gotta find it somewhere.
Yeah, we gotta find it and do a crap-tastic on it. I mean, spoiler alert, it's a crap-tastic, Jim. But, well, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen it, so maybe not. But yeah, I mean, probably most well-known for his work in the Blade Runner. I know a lot of, especially in the nerd community, that movie's a cult classic. Not really one of my favorite movies. My favorite Rutger Hauer movie is probably Lady Hawk. I watched that movie about 1,000 times growing up.
I think I did not. I did not watch it 1,000 times, but I watched it enough.
It is a great movie. Anybody who says differently is a liar or a communist. One of the two, maybe both. Maybe a lying communist. Another movie of his that I absolutely love is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He played the main Dracula, or the main vampire. Fucking great in that movie. I mean, most people forget that Rutger Hauer and Pee Wee Herman were the two main villains in a Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
Go to his IMDb page and look at his filmography, and you'll probably find him in a whole bunch of movies that you completely forgot that he was even in.
The last one I do want to mention that I really enjoyed when I was younger was, I mean, all these movies take place within like a 3-year period, obviously, was Blind Justice, where he was like a white dude who lost his sight in Vietnam, and like some random Japanese like ninja warrior took pity on him and taught him how to be a ninja. So he had like a walking stick that was like samurai sword, Ryan. You need to up your game with your walking stick. That's all I'm saying. Your cane.
It sounds like that one part in World War Z with that one guy.
That, or just maybe the stick episode in the first season of Daredevil. I mean, this is like, okay, true. I got a question, Ryan. I know you've got your sight issues, and you've probably talked to a lot of people in the blind community. Mm-hmm. Is there like a hidden like community that we just don't know about, that the moment you lose your sight, elderly ninja person comes and trains you how to be a killer?
That is a secret that I am not allowed to disclose, right?
Because everything I've ever seen about blind people is that you immediately get trained and are a deadly ninja assassin.
That if you keep probing any further, you're gonna not have a good end.
I'm gonna get like a ninja star to the neck.
Yeah, there's the ninja senses will start going off. So.
All right. Well, then I won't probe any further. But we need to talk later. I need to know about this.
Yes.
But yeah, so Rutger Hauer. Was there anything that any particular Rutger Hauer films that stood out to you that you enjoyed?
Just of course Blade Runner. I mean, I know that you hate Blade Runner, but
I don't hate it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, that was a great monologue. That's at the very end, and
yeah. Did you know he wrote that? Apparently, like himself, like the day of.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a fun fact. He showed up at set and wrote it, and then he didn't like the whatever the original monologue was supposed to be, so he wrote a new one.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a good speech.
Yeah. But and then like you said, Lady Hawk. I mean, that's like the only ones I can think about top of my head. I didn't have enough time to like go and scroll through his whole career, but those are the ones I can really think of. And just all great actor. I love 80s B movie actors. I mean, it's just those are some of the best ones.
He carried it from like he was started in like the 60s. I think the 60s or 70s. He was in The Hitcher. That movie, The Hitchhiker. The Hitcher. That movie was disturbing. I remember watching that as a kid too. But yeah, a great long career. What we missed was he's just a fun actor. Whenever he popped up, you're like, ooh, oh, that guy. I love Rutger Hauer. Every time you saw him, you're like, oh, I love that guy. So anyway, 75, lived a long life. It's as we always say on this show, may the force be with you and good journey, my friend.
Yes.
So, all right. Now, what do we want to start with, Ryan? Do we want to start with Top Gun, or do we want to save that for like a good dessert and start with like Picard? Or actually, I know what we're going to start with, Ryan. We're going to start with your favorite trailer of the week. It Chapter 2.
No, not that one.
Yeah, It Chapter 2. You watched it, right? I know you watched it about 30 times because you love horror movies.
I thought it was awesome and stuff.
Whatever, Ryan. I know you didn't watch it. You're such a wuss. Everybody else who's not a big pansy cake, It Chapter 2 dropped their first trailer, and it looks terrifying. Covering the second half of the book, which is actually much scarier than the first half of the book. I am very much excited for this movie. It's actually kind of funny. We just got the first trailer. It comes out in September, so it's only a couple months away. But it is going to make all the money. Everyone's really excited, and if you watch the first trailer, or the first movie, I cannot imagine that this trailer did not get you excited. Much more terrifying, a lot less of the Goonies, and much more of like a psycho clown is trying to kill you.
Yeah, and this is when it's 27 years later or something now.
Yeah,
right?
so in the book, it's been a long time since I've read the book, so I don't remember everything about it, but I do know like they weave the adult and the kid stories throughout the entire book, and it all kind of wraps up towards the end. So what the movies did was they took the whole first movie is the kid story, and the second movie looks like it's going to be mostly the adult story with a few of the kid scenes kind of weaved in, but it looks good. It's got a great cast, and honestly, it looks terrifying. It looks scary as hell. I'm excited for it.
I'm sure there's people that are going to be very scared. I am too big of a wuss, as Brian said, and I can't do it. I just can't. Nope.
Whatever. All right. Okay. Well, so we do have some news. So let's just go through the trailers quick. Then we'll do the news, and then we'll kind of end with the. How about we end with the Marvel stuff?
Yeah.
That sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, we got our first trailer for Jay and Silent Bob. Well, Jay and Silent Bob reboots. It's the latest View Askew movie. Kind of, I don't know. What'd you think? Do you like those movies? Do you watch them? Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob movies?
Not really, but I mean, maybe I'll give it a shot.
I am a very big fan of these movies. I will say this trailer looked pretty funny. It has a massive, massive cast. I'm very excited for the cast. I will say they look, especially Jason Mewes looks really old. I know he was done a lot of drugs and did a lot of crazy shit. So the years have not always been kind to him. But there's something that just seemed kind of off about him with the trailer. Maybe it's because we haven't seen them in a long time. But I don't care. Whatever. I'm excited for this movie. The trailer was funny. I did not think it was a particularly good trailer. It was just kind of a lot of just stuff kind of randomly. Like, oh, you remember this guy, and you remember this guy, and you remember this guy. So I didn't love the trailer. I did think it was pretty funny. I don't really care, honestly. I'm going to see this movie. And since you're not really a big fan of him, we won't have to sit and talk about him. But I don't know. I've seen them all. I've loved them all. I even liked Jersey Girl, so whatever. Silent Bill is the best.
Oh, I might give it a shot if it's streaming or something like that, you know.
No, I love Kevin Smith, so I'll check it out. Looked pretty funny.
Horse run that he did, or it was what? Like, I can't remember. It was like something like a guy with like half walrus or something like that.
Oh yeah, he made Tusk. I did not watch Tusk. I've not watched any of his horror movies, but I like all his VSQ movies, all this Jay and Silent Bob universe stuff. All right, let's see here. There was a new trailer for, not a new trailer. We got our first trailer for The Witcher on Netflix. Did you check this one out?
That one looks sweet.
So do you know anything about The Witcher?
I do not, but I do know that the trailer looked pretty cool.
I do not know anything about this, and so apparently there's a lot of fans that are real split about this. So apparently it doesn't follow a lot of the video game stuff, but it does follow a lot of the book stuff. So,
see, I didn't know there was. I knew there was the video game.
So apparently this video
based off the video game.
So apparently this is a really popular adult fantasy series written by, I believe, a German author. So they're real popular over in Europe. And so the games are based off of that, but I've never read or played anything. So this is my first experience with The Witcher. I like the trailer. I was a little confused. I feel like this trailer was heavy on stuff to get fans excited and maybe not like let us really know like what the hell's going on, because I mean, obviously they show enough. First of all, Superman as Geralt, he looks great. Henry Cavill looks like a beast in this. I'm very excited for him playing the lead. He's the Witcher. I'm not sure if he's got magical powers or if he's just kind of like a monster killer.
Yeah. Does he kill witches or is he a witch? Like
I said, I don't know. Like, there's some people who have power. There's a girl who's got like a lot of power, and everybody's trying to get her because they killed all the elves and stole their magic. But then it showed like Henry Cavill at the end with like a giant spider trying to eat him, and his eyes are all dark, and he's clearly got some kind of like power. So I don't know. This looks like a rated R Willow to me. That's all I know. But it looks cool. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things though. It's like I don't know if I should try to read one of the books.
Like, I was gonna watch the show because I mean I'm sure the books are probably in English. I doubt they're all in German. But I mean at this point, whatever. I know you're much bigger into. I love fantasy novels, but you tend to read a lot more fantasy novels than I do. So I will let you check out The Witcher, and you let me and everyone else know if it's pretty good. I just want to know one thing: are we going to get as much wiener and boobs in this as we do in Game of Thrones? Because clearly, that's the important question that every person who watches fantasy dragon shows should know.
Or if you see Superman's wiener, I mean, I guess.
No, we won't see his. That's a good point. There's zero chance we'll see his wiener.
Yeah. So.
No super dong.
Yeah.
That's a good point. This is probably going to be much more just violent than boobs and wieners.
It's probably not worth it.
Well, that's kind of disappointing. All right, so moving on. All right, what else we got? Let's see what other trailers we got here. We're going to talk about that one in a second. Let me scroll through our trailer list. Oh, The Watchmen. So since we're on TV, we got a couple of new trailers for some HBO shows. We got a new trailer for the Watchmen series. This trailer tells much more of what the story of the show is going to be about. Yeah. The first trailer came out a few months ago was cool, but it was very confusing about what exactly is going on. This one I thought laid it out much better. It's in the future. It's 40 years after the events of Watchmen, and cops now have to wear a mask because the Rorschach gang went on like a killing spree and killed all these cops. So now everybody wears a mask. And
yeah, but it doesn't seem like the mask they move or do anything like that. I think it's just they have the mask and they just have like the one, Well,
it seems like is it seems like anybody's followed the book at the very end. Rorschach after spoiler alerts. Rorschach after he dies, he sends his journal to like a Breitbart type, super right wing media organization, chronicling like, oh yeah, by the way, this giant terrorist attack that brought everybody together was actually planned by your greatest hero, and it's created this gang of Rorschachs who seem like they feel like it's their job to punish people for the sins that they perceive, right? So they're kind of a radical. Terrorist organization at this point. Yeah. And so it's forced all the cops and everyone else to wear masks, but Ozymandias is in hiding because now the whole world knows that he's the one behind the original bombing. And but the cool thing about this trailer is we get a lot of new characters. We see some suits, some superheroes, a few tie-ins to the original, but Dr. Manhattan. We get Dr. Manhattan in this, and that's pretty cool if we're going to get more Dr. Manhattan.
And they got some more of the clock stuff, trying to figure out what's going on with the clock and everything.
Yeah, I mean, overall, listen, if you don't like Watchmen, I don't think you're going to like this show, so hey, but I'm excited for it. I think it looks pretty cool.
You only have to watch one freaking movie.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's it, and you're caught up. That's all you have to do. You just got to watch one Watchmen movie.
I also feel like they may do like a previously on kind of thing where they tell the event. They find a way to tell the event so you can just go into this fresh if you really want to.
Yeah.
But I don't know, whatever.
Dr. Manhattan come back.
Either way, I'm excited to check out the first season and see what it's like. I think it'll be pretty good. I think that's coming later this year, so we don't have that long to look forward to wait for it. HBO also gave us a trailer for the new trailer for season 3 of Westworld. This season apparently is going to be much more straightforward than the last 2 seasons, so not as much mystery box and a lot more just robot world domination.
Mm-hmm. I'm still only on episode 2 of the second season.
Yeah, second season I think isn't as good as the first season, but it's pretty good. I mean, I think the first little bit kind of is a slog, but towards the end it gets really good. I've enjoyed both seasons of Westworld. I don't think it's quite the game changer that HBO wanted it to be, but it's a really good show, and I'm looking forward to the third season a lot. Plus, I just found out that Marshawn Lynch has been cast in this show.
Wait,
Beast Mode. Lynch? The old Seattle Seahawk, Marshawn Lynch, running back.
Walk around with a bag of Skittles in the Western world?
No, he's part of Jesse Pinkman's heist crew, I guess. I don't know, but I don't care. He's in it, so I'm definitely watching season 3. I'm real excited about that.
Whatever you gotta do, buddy. I mean, I would want to be in Westworld in some capacity. So
yeah, why not? Yeah. Listen, if I'm an NFL football player and I'm not playing football anymore, and somebody calls me and says, "Hey, we want you to be on our TV show," you go, "Okay." So I don't care. I'm really excited about that. And then this is a trailer that I don't know if you've seen yet. I don't even think I posted on Facebook yet or any of our places. I just saw it yesterday. It's a trailer for a new show coming out on Netflix called The Wu Assassin. I want you to check it out. Everyone check it out. It's got the dude from The Raid. What's his name? Tony Jaa. The super badass kung fu fighter. It's got a lot of really good fighters in this, but it's a show. It's basically think of Iron Fist, but with actual people who know how to fight. Nice. So 1,200 monks apparently gave their life so one person could have all their power. And so
cool.
Yeah, it actually looked pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. That drops actually in August, but everybody should check it out. The Wu Assassin. Yeah. Especially if you like a good kung fu flick.
Is it on Netflix or something?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. So the first trailer, like I said, came out yesterday, and it's going to be on Netflix. It drops this August. So I think it's going to be worth it. If you liked Iron Fist and man, Iron Fist would have been great if they actually had real martial artists. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this may be the show for you because everybody knows how to fight in this show, and it looks Pretty badass. So, all right, now we're getting to the good ones, Ryan. We're getting to the big three. We got one amazing one we're both really excited about, and one we're both scratching our head like, what the fuck is this? Which one would you like to go first? I'm gonna let you call this audible. We got 3 trailers left. I'm pretty sure you know which 3 they are. What do you want to talk about, Ryan?
Let's just get rid of the WTF one.
All right, we got our first trailer for Cats, the movie based on the hit Broadway play about cats in New York.
Meow.
Now, Ryan, there's a lot of ways they could reimagine a Cats musical. You could have put people in cat suits like they did in the Broadway play. Did they do that, Ryan?
You could not make a movie about it.
No, they didn't do that, Ryan. Yeah, that's also an option. You could have just not made this movie. Another option would be to completely animate the cats. Make them animated cats. They didn't do that either. But you know what they decided to do, Ryan? They decided to...
With the new... Like the way that a lot of they're doing like the prosthetics and stuff like that, kind of looking like they're painted on, kind of like, with Vision and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, what they did was a CGI'd cat body is on every single person and gave them like weird cat faces and put them in a weird New York. I don't know, man. I watched this trailer and I am like, what in the holy hell is this abomination?
Yeah, I got about halfway through it, and then I paused it, and I slowly put my phone down, and I contemplated if I needed to burn my phone.
It is such a weird, creepy, almost like fetish looking thing. I'm not sure, like...
If you're a furry, then
oh man, this is going to be straight porn.
You're town on this thing. I
feel like the amount of people that are going to be arrested for indecent exposure in the back of theaters watching this is probably going to be at an all-time high. But I don't know, man. It was just weird.
Yeah, and I guess if you like musicals and stuff, you're probably excited for this. But
they should have just given them cat faces. Like, it's so weird. Like, they try and give them these, like, bodies that are supposed to look like cats, but they clearly aren't. They walking around and they talk and they have faces that look like it just looks weird. It's kind of just creepy. Like, to me, I'm watching this trailer and this is like nightmare fantasy stuff, right? You're like, oh god.
The best thing I've seen from this is somebody took Nick Pastor and Juan Swanson from Parks and Recreation. And
they put his face on all of them? Yeah, that was pretty funny.
His face on every single cat. And I would see that movie, but
I mean, here's the thing. If you're out there listening to us going, you guys are idiots, Cats is great. Hey, good for you. If you love Cats and musical and you're really excited for this, listen, my 2 daughters are probably going to love this.
Yeah.
That's fine. No judgment here. I mean, me and Ryan are probably going to spend the next 20 minutes talking about Top Gun. So, hey, we all have our thing. But, holy, what the shit. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And just so everybody knows, dogs are better than cats. Just
infinitely. All right, so let's move on to Picard. We finally got our first trailer for the CW or CBS All Access show. That is the follow-up, I guess, a spiritual successor to Next Generation, I guess you could call this.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a really good way of putting it, considering who they dropped that are going to be in the, like, we don't know in what capacity, but we know that they're going to be in it.
But we got our first kind of what the show's about, and I'm not going to lie, man, I was really excited after I watched this trailer. I mean, first of all, it looks amazing. It looks like they spent a lot of money on this.
Movie.
Yeah. It looks like they spent a lot of money on this series.
Yeah. So it kind of seems like they're kind of doing like some Borg stuff.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. It has a very much of Old Man Logan feel. It has a Captain Picard as an old man with a random girl with superpowers shows up that he has to help, which is pretty much Old Man Logan.
And I'll just say, he looks all of his age.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did not like do anything to try and look younger or anything like that. They were like, you're old. We're gonna make you look as old as.
Yeah, which I mean makes sense. He's what is Patrick Stewart? He's in his late 70s. I mean, he's up there in age, but so I mean, clearly the implication in the trailer is that the girl is some form of a Borg entity. We're not really sure exactly what. I kind of get the feeling it might be the next generation of Borg, so like a self-thinking member of the Borg, maybe. I'm not really sure, but they bring in there was a lot of surprise guests. We got our first look at 7 of 9. We haven't seen her since Voyager.
Who's very it seemed like she's been working on her social skills. Yeah,
she's definitely much more human than Borg at this point now, which is cool. But the fact that he's talking to her of all the cast, I mean, there's a heavy Borg implication in this series. Yeah. And then not just that, he kind of recruits he has to do something. It looks like Starfleet doesn't really want him to, so he kind of recruits his own ragtag group. It definitely has a feeling of a smaller crew versus like, hey, let's get back on board the Enterprise with the giant crew.
Yeah, and we know that Riker's going to be back. Counselor Troy is going to be in it.
Listen, let's be honest. They are going to squeeze every Latin Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine member they can on this show.
I'm just waiting for them to announce Geordi. I mean, you gotta if the Forge isn't in it, then.
Yeah, I'm sure Geordi's going to be in this. The other surprising thing, so that was kind of the main story, but it also looks like one of the things I'm really excited about is what was the last one they did? Nemesis, Star Trek Nemesis.
Yes.
That movie was all right. It had its flaws. It had some good stuff, but it opened up some storylines that a lot of people felt were never really resolved, mainly the Data storyline. Some people felt it was completed because he did the ultimate human thing. He sacrificed himself for Picard. But a lot of us didn't really feel satisfied. They left the door way open for Data's return. One of the things I'm really excited about this is they heavily imply that they were going to wrap that storyline up.
Yeah, and we get to see a little bit of Data, and so we don't know how much he's going to be in it, but I mean, just have like one episode to wrap it up. I mean,
that's I guess another thing that got me really excited about this. It definitely seems like it's going to be its own standalone show, but it's also like I said, spiritual successor to Next Generation, but also kind of the spiritual successor to the movies too. I mean, it feels like Picard is going to do a lot of heavy lifting and wrap up a lot of the Next Generation stuff that we felt maybe didn't get quite an ending we'd hoped.
This is essentially Star Trek's last chance to do this. Yeah. Because, I mean, considering, Patrick Stewart, like, he's busy as hell.
Well, he's healthy, but he is getting up there in age, and who knows how much longer he can do this. And
yeah, I mean, he might retire at any point. I mean, we don't know when. So this is their chance to do it, and I think I don't think they're going to be expecting to get 6-7 seasons out of it.
I actually think this is going to be.
It's going to be like 10 episodes.
I think the big shock of this is going to be. This is going to be Old Man Logan. I think this is going to be the only season. I think it's going to be one season, Picard's last ride.
But think about it. Like if they did it, if a movie, 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Oh, I'd much rather have a 10-episode show where they really put it
10 1 hour episodes have 10 hours.
Yeah.
A complete story. I mean, that's more than enough time in Star Trek land.
And as somebody who likes Star Trek Discovery a lot, this I still haven't subscribed to the channel. Picard, even if it's for a month or two, I'm gonna subscribe and watch Picard. It looks really good.
Yeah, this is the one that pisses me off because this is the one that is the closest to getting me to plop down money to CBS. They've got my money. I love this trailer, but I'm really excited for it. And then finally, the last trailer we're going to talk about before we get to the rest of the Comic-Con news. And that's all you get because we're probably going to get flagged for that one. We're talking about Top Gun Maverick. There was a surprise. Tom Cruise showed up at Comic-Con and dropped a surprise trailer at the Paramount panel for Top Gun Maverick, and it looks friggin' incredible. Yeah, it looks like everything that you remember from Top Gun, the airplane, the shots of, and just how they like video,
Okay. Yeah. Well, go
how they shot it. People playing beach volleyball.
I mean, yeah, they basically said this trailer looks like they took Top Gun and just reshot it shot for shot, prettier, and made I mean, Tom Cruise looks exactly like he did 30 years ago for the most part.
A little bit with a little more weight on him.
Yeah, I mean, this movie... So, real quick, you were talking about... So, I want to talk about the first thing that's jumped out at me in this trailer. The fighter scenes, the fighter pilot, like the jet stuff, is incredible. They have him taking off of
aircraft carriers.
Aircraft carriers, thank you. And the way they have the cameras set up, like, you literally feel like you are taking off with this pilot.
Tom Cruise made it a requirement that all the actors that are fighter pilots had to actually be able to withstand like the taking off and stuff like that from a plane.
Tom Cruise actually learned how to fly a jet plane in this. Tom Cruise flies a jet plane in these scenes. Like, legit. He is flying the plane.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise... I know people hate Tom Cruise. I know they hate him, but I don't give a shit. The guy's a legend. He is a legend in the movie industry, and I cannot wait for this movie. I mean, it has... I don't know what it is about Top Gun growing up. Like, the movie itself is super corny. There's so many issues with the movie.
Oh, yeah.
so much stuff doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so much close, like, homoerotic, like, nature in it.
Oh, I don't think it's, like, close. I think it's openly homoerotic. I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, there's a song called Playing with the Boys with a bunch of dudes. No chicks in sight anywhere. Greased up beyond... I mean, the amount of sweat and baby oil in this movie is just... It's got to be at least a third of the production budget. But, like...
It was one of those 80s movies that was a very 80s movie. Dude. You know, it had music. It had, like, the MTV... Yeah,
it felt like... The whole movie felt like a music video. Like, it's just like you're pumping your fist the whole time. Like, listen, after Tom Cruise, like, shoots down these MiG planes and... pretty much in real life would have started World War III. Literally everybody's out there like, yeah, woo!
It had stuff for everybody. It had stuff for the dudes. It had stuff for the ladies.
Yeah.
And
it's one of the worst like love stories, and it has one of the most incredibly weird sex scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I thought that's how you tongue French kissed a girl for years. Like, you had to stick your... Like, you stuck your tongue out, and you're like, and you just touched tongues. Like, I mean, that movie came out in 85, or I was like 8, 9. I think I was 10, 9, or 10 when I first saw this movie for the first time, and I'm like, oh, so that's how you kiss a lady. I feel bad for all the girls in the world who had to endure. I feel bad for every girl in the world who had to endure us dudes sticking our tongues out. Because that's how we thought you were supposed to kiss a girl because of this goddamn movie.
And then you're gonna like fly a plane.
That's what danger, dude. You don't even want to know how many thousands of dollars I dropped into that Afterburner arcade game that's based on the Top Gun, where you could sit into the thing and it moved.
That game was so much fun.
And then I got Top Gun on Nintendo, and you could never land your stupid plane on the aircraft carrier.
My brother was the only one that could do it. And so, like, I would have to fly the missions, and then I would yell for my brother. Or he could only do it, like, the first couple.
Well, and the missions were incredibly hard, so you spent all this time, like, fighting, and just, like, barely, you're on fire. You're coming in the aircraft carrier.
And then they would keep saying, like, pull up.
Pull up, and you're like, I'm pulling up!
And then you're like this, and then you just, like, smash the thing.
Yeah, it was so hard, but... I don't know, just Top Gun in general. I mean, Tom Cruise was so much fun in that movie, and it was just such a, like, badass movie about a bunch of dudes being dudes, and just... And, I mean, who doesn't like airplanes, especially in the 80s? Like, everybody knew what the F-4, the Tomcat, the Falcon, all these different... The Hornets. You knew all the airplanes that came out. The stealth bombers. Everybody knew them by name and their code size. I mean, the original gamer tags probably were invented from Top Gun. All the names like Maverick and Goose and Jester and Joker and Viper and Iceman. I mean, I guarantee you there's 15,000 Icemen at Xbox Live. Iceman 69.
It wouldn't surprise me.
You know what I mean?
And the thing about this one, like, they're still flying the same planes apparently, so...
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that was the one thing one of our friends pointed out, that, like, are they still flying F-14 Tomcats? And, he said that as a criticism, and I'm like, my response was, if they didn't have F-14 Tomcats in this movie, I would be very upset.
Yeah.
Very upset. Plus, it also reinforces our thought that this movie is actually a complete shot-for-shot remake of the original movie. It's highly possible.
You know, I wouldn't care, honestly, as long as it gets like all like to pump you up. And,
can you imagine getting into the theater and you start it and you're like, wait a minute, this is the exact same goddamn movie.
I would be entertained. That's for sure. Outside
of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, this is my most anticipated movie that is coming up. I cannot wait to see this.
You know, I find it hard to disagree with you on that. I mean, it's just with the pure just, I don't know how to say it. It's just,
and you know what the best part is I don't even know what the movie's about. The trailer legit gave us no plot. I mean, what's the movie about? I don't know. Maverick's still Maverick, running around, flying planes, shooting people.
I want to say nostalgia. Like, I have like a deep nostalgia for it, but it's not that. It feels like it's something more than that, you know?
Yeah, it's this, for me, Top Gun isn't just nostalgia. I think for me, Top Gun is like everything that, like, I guess some of it, like, it's your boyhood fantasy of what is awesome as an adult, right?
I mean, it maybe I went and I bought a freaking, poster, of a. Can't remember what jet it was, but
dude, I had models. I had little plane models, and the good ones, the F-14, the wings would move, right? The cheap ones, they wouldn't move. I think everybody wanted to be a fighter pilot after this. Yeah. This movie, everybody wanted to fly a plane.
Yeah, and I remember I heard something there saying that
dude, these right here are still popular because of Top Gun.
Well, and after the movie came out, for like 6 or 7 years, they had the highest amount of people that were trying to be a Navy fighter pilot.
Yeah.
For like 6 or 7 years. Like,
dude, I was going to join the Air Force. And then we got like a million. I mean, I know the Air Force doesn't fly Tomcats. I was so mad, but they flew the Iron Eagles, buddy. Yeah. And then we got like a ton of rip-off movies of Top Gun. You got Iron Eagle. You got Iron Eagle 2.
So if you watch this movie, do you gain like America points? Like that you get to be like you're like a better American because you watched it?
Yeah, probably. I will say there's already been some controversy. Apparently Tom Cruise's bomber jacket, they put on some like Japan, Korea flags on the back and people were all mad, so they had to remove it already.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care. All I know is I'm excited for this movie, and is it going to be big, loud, and stupid? Absolutely, but I just don't care. I think it looks great.
Yeah, I just want to see it. I want to get the biggest box of popcorn I can get.
Yeah.
Shove it into my face.
You know what reminds me? These movies remind me, I think that's part of the reason why our nostalgia for some of the 80s stuff. Back then, I mean, listen, I love all the Marvel movies, and we're going to talk about the stuff coming up, and I'm pretty excited for it, but back in Top Gun is the type of movie that's just fun. You just check your brain out the door, and you just are like, that movie was awesome.
It's like one of the movies that, like, I watched it with, like, my sister, and I can't tell you how many times we sat there and we watched it, like, on road trips and stuff like that. So,
yeah. I
mean, it's got a lot of good, like, shared, memories and stuff like that watching this.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, all right, let us know what you guys thought about all the trailers we talked about. If you guys think we're way off base, or if you're really excited about something like we are, we'd love to hear from everybody. Okay, real quick before we get into the Marvel news, there was a lot of other news that dropped. I'll try and blow through this stuff kind of quick since we're already kind of running late here. And I want to save the rest for the Marvel. So we had some DC stuff. So DC officially announced that the Young Justice. Well, this is actually some big DC Universe news. Before I give this news, a lot of us who have the DC Universe app, I really enjoy it, but we hadn't really heard a lot of news, and all we've heard about is the HBO Max subscription coming out. And so I think some of us were kind of worried that they were going to cancel a lot of these shows, or they were going to fold them into this, or get rid of the app altogether. So it's kind of cool as DC came out at the Comic-Con and announced renewals for a lot of these. Young Justice is getting a 4th season. Doom Patrol is getting a 2nd season. They rolled out some Teen Titans stuff, which is really excited. They dropped a release date. We're getting it September 6th, so we're getting the 2nd season pretty quick. And they said that we've got a lot of plans for the service and it's not going away. So I mean that's pretty good news.
Yeah. Did you finish Doom Patrol yet?
I have not. I got a couple episodes left. I'm on Jane Patrol right now, where we're figuring out like how crazy Jane is, like and how our personalities work.
So great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. I love Doom Patrol. I've just been so swamped down with everything. It's hard to get caught up on everything. But we are also getting, this isn't Comic-Con related, this came out today, but apparently we're getting a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy TV series for Hulu.
Mm.
So I like the movie. I never read the book. I'm sure there's lots of stuff there to be mined for a TV show. Also, speaking of Hulu, if you're a big fan like Ryan is of the Orville, it is no longer going to be airing on Fox. They are moving season 3 to Hulu. So
yeah, I'm kind of wondering. I don't understand why they're making it a Hulu exclusive now, but I think it's just because Disney's just starting to transition everything to that digital format. So.
Yeah, this is Disney just taking some of their properties that maybe don't score as huge of a rating and really could do better for them on the streaming service. So, they've already got season 1 and 2 of Orville on there, so now you could be like, if Orville is an Hulu exclusive show, it might help bring people to, continue to bring people to the platform. Speaking of things from our childhood, apparently Ducktales, the animated show, it's been renewed for a couple more seasons. Next year it's bringing in the Rescue Rangers, Top Spin, the Gummy Bears, Goof Troop, Daisy Duck. They are all going to be brought into this universe and then probably spun into their own shows if people respond well to them again.
So they're going to MCU the DuckTales.
Hey, I'm all for it. You can MCU the DuckTales as much as possible.
The DTU.
Yeah, and honestly, anybody who's watched the new show, it's really, really good. Eddie Murphy apparently is working on a deal, a massive deal, a $70 million Netflix deal to return to stand-up. So apparently Netflix, the rumor is Netflix is going to pay him $70 million and he's going to do a handful of comedy specials, stand-up. So
can he really even push the envelope like he used to though?
I hope so. I loved Eddie Murphy in the 80s. He's great.
I loved it too. I've seen all of his specials.
Netflix better hope so because they're going to pay him $70 million. He better come up with some funny shit.
Yeah, I mean it's that's the thing. I was like the specials, he was saying some pretty outlandish stuff, but when it feels like in this day and age, there's really much of an envelope left to push.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But we'll find out soon, Ryan. Apparently Archer has been surprisingly renewed for season 11. The creators had long said that season 10 would be the final season, but apparently not. Season 11 is coming, and Archer will be officially out of his coma, and they will be going back to the spy world. So, look at that.
It's whatever, as long as just more Archers.
Yeah, the CW is starting to talk a lot about their Crisis on Infinite Earths, and we're getting a lot of details about that massive crossover plan for next year on the CW. Well, I guess later this year on the CW shows. The biggest news, in my opinion, was that Burt Ward, the original Robin in the 1966 Batman, is coming back to play Robin in the Infinite Crisis, and Brandon Routh will be reprising his role as Superman on Infinite Crisis. So he will be apparently they're going to skip ahead with him, and it's going to be that Superman story, but it's going to be the Kingdom Come version, so he'll be a little bit older. And anybody familiar with Kingdom Come, it's a great comic. So they are bringing literally everybody. They keep announcing more and more people are going to be in this. It sounds like they're calling every single person who's ever played a version of a superhero and seeing if they want to be part of this Infinite Crisis. So be prepared. We are going to get some cool. That is might be the best crossover probably of all time for CW. And considering it's Arrow's last season, I think they really want to go out with a bang.
Yeah, I mean it's just I kind of gave up on the CW shows. I mean, I might watch this special, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to see them all to enjoy the specials. I think as long as you're kind of a little familiar with the universes, you're fine. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., speaking of things that are getting canceled, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is officially ending after Season 7, so it's too bad. Season 6 has been really good. But, I mean, this show, honestly, all things considered, after, like, Season 2, it was like every season was a fan petition to bring it back. So the fact that we got 7 seasons out of it, I'm... and they know it's coming, so I think they're going to give us a really good finale.
We got Ghost Rider out of it.
So, and I don't think it'll be the end for all these characters. I just think they're maybe moving on, or at least nothing else. Disney's probably going to maybe bring it back in and reevaluate it, and it could end up being some kind of a Disney Plus thing later on. So we'll see. And then I think the last bit of just regular news we got is it's a big one. Apparently, James Cameron in a video, we got a cool teaser about Terminator Dark Fate, and he was talking about everybody's coming back. Eddie Furlong is officially returning as John Connor for this movie.
Now, have you read what his life has been like? And
I didn't know he's had a rough life. He's been in jail on some domestic violence charges, and it sounds like he's had a pretty rough life after his childhood movie acting.
Yeah, I remember American History X and Terminator 2 and
I forgot about American History X. I don't know how much he's going to be. I have a sneaky suspicion that he's going to get murdered pretty early on in this movie. Mm-hmm. I kind of think that this Dark Fate, I think it's going to hint to the fact that they did change the timeline, but unfortunately, time is always in motion, and he's going to get whacked in this movie. But I don't care. You know what? They keep saying it is the third Terminator movie. It's the third movie in James Cameron's original movies. So I mean, everything they keep saying keeps lining up with the cast, and they've got everybody on board. So if they can't do a good Terminator movie with this crew, I don't think they ever will.
And they had a new trailer. I mean, and he is nowhere, anywhere on the discussion.
No, and you know what? That's fine with me too. I don't need him to be a big part of it. I kind of like to say some things. I'm just cool. I'm glad that I heard he's coming back, and I don't need to see him in a trailer. So I don't need to watch another trailer for this movie. I want to see it. I'm super excited for it. So.
I'm so excited for it.
All right, and then for our Star Wars corner news this week, The Mandalorian has been apparently already renewed for Season 2. Jon Favreau is already pre-production starting for that, so anybody who wasn't sure what Disney thought about The Mandalorian, apparently they think it's great, and the second season is already underway. We're also starting to get some more some more pictures of the art of making Rise of the Skywalker. We got a Knights of Ren on the cover of the visual guide for Rise of Skywalker. So if you're interested in seeing some of that stuff, nothing looks any too spoilerific, but if you are just dying to see this movie and just want to see a few things out there, it's out there. And then lastly, so that's it for our Star Wars corner. Lastly, I probably should have done that last, but whatever. Lastly, Marvel had a huge Comic-Con, as they always do, which is why there wasn't a lot of other people showing up at Comic-Con this year, because they're like, Marvel's there. We're just going to stand out. The first bit of news we got was Kevin Feige officially announced that Avengers Endgame has passed Avatar for the highest grossing movie of all time. So congratulations, Disney, on beating your rival company, Disney, and showing them who's boss.
It was really hard.
There's something satisfying as a fan, though, and I don't really care about box office that much, but there's something kind of satisfying knowing that Avengers Endgame is the all-time highest grossing movie of all time.
It's so hard when you have to beat yourself. So.
Oh, it's so hard when you beat yourself, Ryan. So hard indeed.
Anyway, he beats himself all the time.
So after that, Kevin Feige came out and announced the slate for Phase 4, and also teased Phase 5, I think. So the things that were 100% announced, which was actually kind of interesting. So this is the first time they announced these TV shows as part. Well, I mean, I guess they've never done TV shows before, but they officially announced TV shows as part of Phase 4. So the movies are no longer going to be the only part that they do or consider when doing these. So let's see here. We'll go over them real quick, and then if you want to talk about them, I know there's a couple we're going to talk about because I'm really excited about some of them. If I can find the where was it?
If only they had allowed the Netflix one to be a part of the MCU, that would have been even better.
All right, where did it go? Oh, God, did I lose it? All right, whatever. I can't find it. I had the picture that showed all the dates and stuff. So we'll just talk about them, and if you want to know the dates, you can go look them online. So the first thing they announced was, we got the official. We've known for a while some of the TV shows, but we've got the official names for them and kind of the banners and a little bit of information. So first we got Bucky and we got Falcon and Winter Soldier. So it's pretty cool logo. It had the top their names, and then it had the Captain America flag. So apparently this show is going to kind of settle who is Captain America. It does sound like both of them will take on the mantle at some point in the show. But Baron Zemo, this is going to take place after Endgame. Baron Zemo is set to return, and he will be in costume. If you don't remember who he is, he's the villain, Daniel Bruhl, the villain from Civil War. So he sounds like he's going to be probably the major villain in this, but it looks pretty cool. Then we got WandaVision, which is going to take place after the events of... Okay, well...
I think it's after the events of Infinity War, isn't it?
No, so... Okay, so they announced... So we'll talk about this we'll go announce it. So they announced... God, where'd it go? I have all the names here, so I don't want to get rid of them. Okay, so they announced a movie... So the movies they announced, we have Black Widow is currently filming. They've officially finally announced that. That comes out next year. That's going to be the next Marvel movie we get. That takes place right after Civil War, and it features a whole bunch of Black Widows, and it's finally going to tell us what happened in Budapest that her and Hawkeye talked about. It's a prequel, obviously. We all know ultimately the fate of Black Widow, but apparently that movie is going to set up a lot of things going forward for the series. So, I mean, that's I guess, big news. Then we have Doctor Strange. I think this is May. I think we only have one Marvel movie next year.
Doctor Strange and something in the multiverse.
Yes, we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This is going to be a team-up movie with Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch going through the Nightmare Realm to face Nightmare, who is the main villain in this. The director has said that this is going to be scary, and it is going to be Marvel's first horror movie.
Yeah, but like horror movie or like horror movie?
Well, it's not going to be rated R. It's going to be PG. Listen, it's going to be PG-13. So let's be honest here. And
you gotta be able to get 8 and 9-year-olds are gonna want to see it because it's a Marvel movie. So
yeah, and then that's going to go into the WandaVision show. So that's going to follow the events. So whatever happens to Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange too.
WandaVision is going to lead up into the movie.
No. Doctor Strange's events lead directly into WandaVision, which it's Wanda and Vision going through multiple realms, I guess, through different times, and kind of I'm not exactly sure what they've got going on, but yeah. So we're going to be getting a lot of Scarlet Witch. So if you don't like Scarlet Witch, well, tough shit. You're going to be getting a lot of Scarlet Witch. Then we're getting the Eternals, which is a really big property for them. It has the biggest cast. We're getting Angelina Jolie. We're getting Rob Stark. We're getting who else is in this? Selma Hayek. It's going to be a really big cast. Apparently, it's like godlike creatures who've been living on Earth for 20,000 years, but now they have to fight other godlike creatures who've shown up to Earth. But they've been living in secret, so I'm not really sure. I don't know much about these characters other than Marvel's doing.
I know the name, I know I've read them and heard of them and stuff like that, but I don't really know anything in depth about them. Honestly,
yeah, same here. I'm like, okay, cool. And then we were getting the Loki series, which did confirm. This is a little bit of a spoiler for Endgame. The Loki who escaped in the 2012 Avengers timeline in that movie is going to be who this show is about. He's jumping through time with the Space Stone. I'm guessing he's probably going to have to be recovered. We'll probably get a little bit of Thor in this. Who knows? But so we're getting that. And then we're also getting the last show we're getting is a Hawkeye show where he is training a young Kate Bishop to take over for Hawkeye. So, cool. And then anybody who ever wanted a Hawkeye show, well, there you go. And then the big one was the one that I think kind of shocked everybody is I believe it's the last movie in Phase 4. So Phase 4 is not really a big slate. We're getting one movie in 2020, and then, I don't know, maybe we're getting two movies. I think we're getting the Eternals. So we're getting two. So the Phase 4 was only for about 2 years because we're getting the TV shows. We're getting 4 TV shows, and we're getting the Eternals, Black Widow, Doctor Strange 2, And the one that got everybody really excited is we're getting Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, the poster looks like a straight Masters of the Universe remake. And it has been confirmed that we are getting Taika Waititi's coming back, which we talked about last week. Tessa Thompson's coming back as Valkyrie. Chris Hemsworth's coming back as Thor. And the surprise return of Natalie Portman, who was forever done with Marvel movies and swore she'd never do another comic book movie, to the point where they had to use old archive footage of her and voice work to get her into Endgame. Apparently, she came back on board because, Ryan, why did she come back on board, Ryan?
Because she's going to be Lady Thor.
They have announced that Natalie Portman will, in fact, be Lady Thor. So we will have Valkyrie, who is right now Queen of the Asgardians, King Thor, who's not king of anything, Fat Thor running around the universe, and Lady Thor. All I know is we better get Beta Bill Ray, the horse face guy, and Frog Thor. I want all the Thors.
I forgot about Frog Thor. Maybe they should do like an Into the Thorverse instead of like Into the Spider-Verse.
I'm kind of hoping that's what this is. I'm hoping Love and Thunder is weird as shit. Apparently Grandmaster may return for this, Jeff Goldblum's character. Yeah. But
I'm looking forward to Lady Thor. I'm sure there's going to be so many people losing their minds about,
Yes. And
there's going to be the same people that got all pissed off about the Lady Thor comic books. So.
Yeah, whatever. I could care less. I was just shocked that they brought back Natalie Portman. I thought she was done forever. And then lastly, so that's coming out in late 2021. And then lastly, before they left the stage, so those are the 8 things that they announced for Phase 4. A small phase. It sounds like Phase 4 and Phase 5 are going to be kind of tightly intertwined over the next 4 years. But I believe they're going to announce the rest of Phase 5. Or maybe an expanded Phase 4. But they said this is Phase 4. So I'm going to guess they're announcing Phase 5 at D23, Disney's kind of Comic-Con coming out later this year.
Yeah.
But before they left, I always say his name wrong. Mahershala Ali, who is the Oscar award-winning actor of The Green Book and was in True Detective and played Cottonmouth in the Luke Cage Season 1. Came out on stage because Kevin Feige said, yeah, one more thing. He has something to announce. And he put on a hat that said Blade on it. Yes, for Phase 5, Marvel's announced a Blade movie. They are rebooting Blade with an Academy Award winner. And I don't know what it's about, but I don't give a shit. I'm excited.
Yeah. It's not going to be rated R.
No, it'll be PG-13. It'll be much more tied into their universe they have now. Which actually makes sense if you look at the movies they're coming out with now. Everything they're doing is much more, you're getting some cosmic stuff, but you're also kind of tying in the Doctor Strange, the Nightmare Realms, the TV shows that feature the hero. So I don't know, I'm excited. I think Blade's going to be awesome just because it's Blade. So I'm excited about that. Kevin Feige also teased on his way out. Did you have any other thoughts on Blade? Something you want to say?
Well, really, this is what started it all for Marvel.
Yeah, I think this is something they should have brought back in.
I think it's just it started the whole thing. I mean, people say that it was Iron Man, but if you really think about it, it was actually Blade.
Yeah,
so.
For the Marvel stuff, absolutely. I mean, I know we had some X-Men back in the day, but the idea that you could take a B Marvel character and turn it into a blockbuster, I think started with Blade, so absolutely, you are 100% correct. And then lastly, before Kevin Feige went out, he's like, listen, I know we didn't even talk about Captain Marvel 2, we didn't talk about Black Panther 2, we didn't talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we didn't talk about Fantastic Four, we didn't talk about Mutants, but we will be talking about those soon. So a lot of people have speculated that will be Marvel's Phase 5. So it sounds like, what we just talked about in those movies, that'll be real sequel heavy in Phase 5. Probably get an Avengers movie in there too. This is the first Marvel phase that we haven't had an Avengers movie, so my guess is we'll get a new Avengers movie in Phase 5 as well. But
I think it seems like they started off. They're just gonna try and get the new ball rolling.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you're right, and I think they're smart to do it. Endgame was such a colossus, you can't top it, so you have to reset it. So if you look at the movies and the shows they're doing now, they'll be big, but they're much less grand scale things, right? They're more personal journeys and individual stories. And I think, like to your point, they're going to ramp back up and kind of. That's why I think they're smart to not give us a bunch of sequels with these powerful characters. Give us some new stuff. So I'm excited for it. I think it was a good showing for Marvel, and I like what they got coming.
Yeah, they're not going away anytime soon.
No. All right, and that is all the news we have. So only a couple things, no big deal. But we did get some. We did throw out a question this week, so I think we have some good stuff from the Faithful 50 this week to talk about. So Ryan, what do you got?
As I renamed this segment though.
Oh, what is it?
I called it the Faithful 10.
Oh, okay.
Maybe give or take.
How about the Faithful 15?
Faithful 15. Okay, we can move it to that.
Allow it. All right. This week on the Faithful 15, Ryan, what do you got?
So first off, we have Jeff, good old Jeff, and he wants to know: you invent an alcoholic beverage. What do you name it, and what is in it? So we're inventing an alcoholic beverage. I'm guessing that's not like a mixed drink or something like that. We're just making like
no, I think he means like if you want to make something like I'm going to make the rum shaker, and it's like rum and you shake it. It's the rum shaker. I think that's what I mean.
My family has Thompson Ass Buster. That's the name of a drink that my family makes.
The Thompson Ass Buster? Because
you fall down on your butt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not what you're thinking, Brian. I know. But
just saying. I'm going to make my drink. I'm going to take, it's real hard. You need 2 ingredients. You take ice, and then you pour scotch over it, and it's called Scotch on the Rocks. It's really creative.
So let's just say, would you make a liquor or a beer? What do you think?
Oh, I'd make something super fruity. Yeah. I would like to make something called the Superman, where it's blue, so you get like blue Caraco, and you mix it with probably some... I'd probably do some rum, maybe some vodka. We'll go vodka, because I want it to be colorful. So you can't really do anything dark in it, right? So I'd do it so the bottom was all, and then at the top I'd put something I don't know, something red, like fruit punch. So it would be blue. But I need some yellow. What's yellow? What kind of booze can turn yellow? Nothing. Pineapple juice. So we're gonna go. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go rum. It's gonna be a rum drink. We're gonna take blue Caraco with Bacardi and Sprite. And then we're going to put pineapple juice on it. And then right on top, we're going to put fruit punch. So that way it's blue, yellow, and red. It's going to be called the Superman.
That sounds very good.
All right, there you go.
I think I'm just going to make something that's like...
That's a heartburn drink waiting to happen, but hey, whatever.
I'm just going to make like something that's like a straight scotch. But it's going to be like... when Thor said that, they had the... his drink came from that was aged for 1,000 years, and it was made. The barrels were made from a ship or something like that. I'm gonna go with that. It's gonna be like a 1,000-year-old Scotch, and nobody will ever get to drink it. Essentially,
or we could come up with that's a good one. Or we could come up with a drink that's called America's Ass that looks like a Captain America drink. So it's blue, red, white, and blue. It would taste like one of those red, white, and blue popsicles, but it's so low. But it's all made with 151 booze, like all super high alcohol content. So it looks like America, it tastes like America, but it puts you right on your ass. So it's America's Ass. I like it.
We can always go with that alternative.
All right, there we go. All right, thanks, Jeff. I'd love to know what you want to make for a drink there, Jeffrey.
What are you mixing? That's what we want to know. Next up, we have, I think this is the first time one. We have Misty. I don't know where she lives, but she wants to know, why don't men come naturally buff like that in our day and age? And this is in reference to the Beastmaster picture that I had put up. So Misty wants to know, why are you fat, Brian?
So first of all, thanks, Mom, for the question. I would say that people these days aren't buff naturally like they used to be because their moms make them too many goddamn cookies and not enough protein shakes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I know our Sunday breakfast was gravy and biscuits and gravy. I mean, and that's like a religious thing.
So wait a minute, it was gravy and then you put on top of it biscuits and more gravy?
Yes. It was like... layers of gravy.
So my mom liked to. So basically, I pan-fried the gravy. I deep-fried the gravy so you can make it like a quesadilla, and then you put the gravy and the biscuit inside of it, and then you put another deep-fried piece of gravy on top of it, and you eat it like a sandwich.
And then you fry egg, and you put the fried egg on top of it.
And then you wrap it in butter and ice cream and deep fry that, and it's spectacular. You know, somewhere somebody's like, "Ooh, that's pretty good. I should try that."
And then you go to grandma's house, and you just
die on the way, and your heart explodes, and you just keel over right there on the front porch.
So the reason why people aren't buff anymore is because of bad parenting.
Yeah, terrible parenting, bad diets, given to us by the parents. That and the fact that every single thing in the world right now is so packed with so many complex carbohydrates, so many freaking carbohydrates and sugar that, I mean, they even inject carrots with sugar now.
Unless you kill your own food and you know 100% where it comes from, it's going to be packed with a bunch of crap that your body needs.
It's true.
Does not need, I mean.
All right, well, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom, for the question.
Did we have any more questions?
Yeah, I had one from Christine. She wanted to know, it was a Stranger Things question. She wanted to know, so in season 2, she says all the demi-dogs died when the portal was closed. Obviously, a little bit of spoiler for Stranger Things people.
Yeah.
When the portal was closed. In season 3, the Mind Flayer died when the portal was closed. At the end of season 3, the Russians had a demi-dog that's alive. Does this mean that they also have an open portal? She thinks that is true. Yes, your logic would hold true. I do believe that is probably correct. I will say Stranger Things has always played a little fast and loose with their portals and dimensions. We still don't know why there was like 8,000 different portals and open portals in season 1, but I think what they've kind of established over season 2 and then season 3 is that when the main portal closes, the connection to the Mind Flayer and it's like a hive mind situation is broken. Yes, I do believe they have opened. I do believe they figured out a way to open up another portal. When they talk about the American, I do believe that's Jim Hopper. I think that's how we're going to get him back. Or it is possible when they talk about the American, it could be Dr. Brenner, who would have told them how to rip a hole in the upside down, and that's how they brought demi-dogs over. So I think the end of that, they have definitely led us to believe that the Russians have once again opened the portal. So
those damn Russians, why are they trying to?
I also think the thing that's kind of overlooked is they have a demi-dog, but when the demi-dog stands up on his foot, it's actually, you realize that the demi-dogs are the juvenile versions of demigorgons.
Yeah, I just wanted. Did they say any? I was trying to remember. Did they say anything like why the Russians were doing it, or?
No, it's because they're just Russians, and that's what they do.
Because they're Russians, and we needed a bad guy.
Well, think about the strategical thing. Hey, listen, we went to the moon because the Russians were trying to go to the moon. So you play that reverse. The Russians, we open a portal, they wanted their own portal because, hey, strategically thinking, if you could open a portal in the Upside Down, go into the Upside Down, and then open another portal anywhere in the world and just jump out of it, strategically speaking, that'd be a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, it's true.
So, all right. Thank you, Christine, for your question. I hope I answered it. We answered it adequately. And thank you, everybody who left a question. We really appreciate you guys coming back after last week. We forgot to do it. So, thanks for showing back up. And anybody who would like to be part of our Faithful 15 segment, Ryan, would you like to tell them how they can do that?
You can find us on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report and Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. Brian is BrianMarsh53 and I am Big Bruiser. We're on Facebook at the Geek Dad Report, and you can also find us on podhell.com.
I was actually meaning more of like every Thursday, Ryan puts up a post and you just got to leave a question and we'll answer it. But now everyone also knows where you can find us. Right?
I thought you wanted to do. I thought we were doing that. I was jumping my brain.
No, you jumped the gun. It's cool. Now we don't have to do it at the end of the show. But before we get out of here, real quick, weekly recommendations. Did you have one, Ryan? If you don't, we can go to mine and move on.
What was the one that we talked about earlier?
Good Omens.
I watched Good Omens. Great show.
Oh, really?
Demons.
I didn't know that.
And the Antichrist. And if you're a religious person, do not watch it. You
I don't think it's too sacrilege.
God is a woman. Adam and Eve are black people.
Yes.
And the angels and the demons do a lot of really funny things.
And they're friends.
And they're friends.
I do love the fact that the main angel and the main demon have decided that they like Earth and they don't want the Earth to end, so they're conspiring to turn the Antichrist good.
Yes. Have you got to the scene where the shark shows them like through time, like as they meet each other?
Yeah, I've seen the first episode. I've only watched the first one, but I'm gonna try and finish the last one.
So I think like in the second or third episode, it shows them like as they like meet each other through time.
All right, I'll have to check it out. I'm excited. It is only 6 episodes and it's a breezy watch. That's on Amazon, so I have to agree with you, Ryan. Check out Good Omens. My recommendation this week is it's actually a book. I bought my kids some books for Christmas, and I was looking for something fun to read, and I decided that I realized I hadn't read this, and I kind of enjoyed the movie, so I figured I'd give it a try. Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, so I decided to hop into the series and check it out. And it's by Rick Riordan? Sure, something like that. I know this book has been out for a while. I'm late to this one, and I know the movie's out as well. And I also know it's YA novel, but it's pretty good. It's a lot of fun. It's a quick read. Sometimes I've read a lot of hefty books, like weighty books lately. It's kind of fun to just pick something up that's fun, light reading, and has a cool story that just kind of rips through it. If you like Greek mythology, that's, this is, I would call this like Harry Potter light, but with Greek mythology. It doesn't have nearly the universe that J.K. Rowling has created, but it's a fun universe, and it's been a lot of fun reading. I'm blowing through this book really quickly. There's 5 in the series. You can pick up all 5 on Amazon for like $30, so.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Yeah, it comes in a cool set. So I will let you guys know when I get to the last of them if the series is worth reading. But so far, so good. If you want a breezy story, or if you got a young person who's looking for something fun to read, Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, first one. Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
What do you use for your bookmark? I see your bookmark in there, Brian.
I got a little Pokemon thing that I got when I went and saw Pokemon or Pikachu, Detective Pikachu.
Nice.
I use like whatever bookmarks I can find because I always lose them. So
I know I've lost every single bookmark I've ever owned.
So I like to use like trading cards.
Here's a piece of paper and I like shred it in half and like stuff it inside.
I've got a lot of old trading cards like Magic cards and Star Wars cards and stuff that are worthless. So I just throw one in there and call it good. So. All right. Well, that is all we got. So thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. We may, depending on the news next week, if it's a low news week, me and Ryan have a couple of fun extra segments we may have to talk about. So we'll see. We'll see about that next week. But until then, everyone, stay awesome.
And stay nerdy, and I'm going to bed. Goodbye.
And don't forget to get on the highway to the danger zone. Woo! Highway to the danger zone.
And learn how to like.
To the danger zone.
Now I want to play a guitar just to know the Top Gun theme song. Just
buy the soundtrack like I did. Later.